Okay, let's review the geometry and circle example. Our goal in this example was to review defining and calling static methods, access public static fields, define and use a toString method, and define and use an equals method. To call a static method, simply write the class name, a dot, and then call the method. For example, there's a class called math that contains several static methods: absolute, log, log10, square root, pal, sum. So we use that when we've said math.pal x3. What we're saying here is that we're going to raise x to the third power. So notice we have math, the name of the class, dot, and then the name of the method, and any parameters if needed, any arguments if needed. Math also has a static final field named pi. Alright, so let's go to our example. We want to define our own class that contains a static method named area. Alright, so let's go ahead and write this method. This is public static, return type is double, area is the name of my method. I'm accepting a radius value as a parameter, double R. I'll take the radius value that's been passed as a parameter, multiply square that, multiply that by pi, and return that value. So I can say return, and I can use this static field that's in math for pi. Math.pi times R times R. So it will compute the area of a circle, pi r squared. We also could have used the math.pal function in order to calculate r squared. We can say math.pal r comma 2. So it'll be r squared. So we've created a static method named area. And any time that we want to use this method, all we need to do, a sample call statement, will be to incorporate the name of the class, geometry, dot area, and pass a radius of a circle, and that is what will be produced. It will return the area of a circle with a radius of 3. So we can say y equals, or something like that, equals the area of that circle area. Okay. All right, next we were to define a class named circle. Now let's look at the UML diagram. The UML diagram describes a instance field for radius, and it has the set and get method, set radius and get radius. We're going to focus on get area, toString, and equals methods. So these are additional methods that I want us to include in the circle class. Get area is to compute and return the area of a circle. Well, I've already defined a method in geometry that returns the area, so I just need to access that and pass my radius, or the radius of a circle, as the argument. So it's going to be public. The get area method returns a double. The name of my method is get area. And all I'm going to do here is I'm going to return geometry dot area and pass my radius. Okay. So whenever I want, after I've defined a circle object, I can call the method get area, and it'll return the area of that circle. Okay. So next we will focus on creating the toString method. ToString is a method that returns a string that you create, and we're overriding the default toString method. So to display the values of radius and area in this example. So public string is the return type. The name of the method is toString. No parameters. And I want to return a string that has the radius plus the area plus, let's get the value of the area. And we can simply call get area. Get area is a method that exists in this class, that in the circle class, that returns the area of the circle. So toString is a method that returns a string containing the radius and area of the circle. Now let's go to the equals method. Public Boolean equals circle obj. Now equals is a method that returns either true or false, a Boolean value. Radius, the radius of a circle with an object that is passed as a parameter. So I'm going to create a temporary Boolean or a local variable Boolean status equals false. I'm assigning it to false. I'm going to set status equals to true if my radius equals the radius of the parameter. So if radius equals obj dot radius, then status equals true. Let's return status. Okay, and so in our class circle, we have our instance field for my radius. We have our set radius, get area, toString, and equals method. Alright, and our last thing that we want to do is to test our code by creating two circle objects and comparing them to see if they are equal. So let's create two circle objects now. Now let's create A equals new circle, and circle circ B equals new circle. Let's set our radius, circ A dot set radius, and circ B dot set radius. System.out.println circ A plus circ A plus circ A dot toString. Now remember, that's going to return the radius and the area. Another way of writing that is system.out.println circ B plus circ B. Now, the first statement for circ A was explicitly calling the toString method, and this second statement is implicitly calling the toString methods. In both cases, it's going to display the radius and the area of that circle. Now, to compare them to see if they're equal, if circ A dot equals circ B, if circ A dot equals circ B, then it returns true if they're the same, and I can say system.out.println same, else system.out.println diff. There we go. So let's go ahead and compile these. Okay, and it says radius, circ A radius 3.0, and it gives you the area. Circ B radius 3.0 gives you the area, and it says the same. Now what if I change the radius for circle B to 4 and compile and ran it again? It says circ A is 3.0, circ B is different radius and different area, and it says diff.